Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, at that Park Place. What do we got here? Star Wars spent a decade pushing away the boys. But why would today's teenagers care about the Mandalorian Grogu? Marvin Montanaro writing this one, and it has a real impact on theme parks, not just the box office. Because, well, wasn't Galaxy's Edge supposed to be a place that pleased adults and teens at Hollywood studios? Well, it turns out not so much anymore. It says Disney and Lucasfilm have been telling boys that Star Wars isn't for them since the sequel trilogy kicked off in 2015. So why would any boy born in the Disney era care at all about the Mandalorian Grogu? For years, Disney and Lucasfilm insisted that Star Wars needed to evolve. Kathleen Kennedy's Lucasfilm repeatedly framed the franchise as something that had to move beyond its traditional audience and embrace a modern identity. The messaging wasn't subtle. Between the Force's female branding, endless access media lectures about toxic fandom, and storytelling that often portrayed legacy male heroes as broken failures, a generation of young boys grew up hearing one consistent message: the franchise wasn't for them. It goes on to talk about the effort to get this fixed with the Mandalorian Grogu, but still, because of the sequel trilogy, it seems like Disney is unable to get this turned around. The millstone that is The Last Jedi and Rise of Palpatine, they call it Skywalker, I won't, seems to have Star Wars in a funk that it cannot get rid of. There's no bath, there's no shower that cleanses it of this. And what's it doing? Well, again, that Park Place reporting the Mandalorian Grogu officially earns lowest box office opening in Disney Star Wars history. Adjusted for inflation, it's just flat out the lowest box office opening in Star Wars history. So this is not good. And the question then becomes, can they keep Galaxy's Edge going, or do they have to spend the money to switch this over to something else, anything else, go back to the original characters, drop Mando and the sequels, drop Rey, drop Kylo, and go straight to Darth, Yoda, Luke, and more. We've seen huge response over at Disneyland with the introduction of those characters. So panel, what say you? Will Disney be forced to do the same thing and make it permanent, making this a Star Wars celebration land for all fans, rather than just those who enjoy the sequel trilogy characters, all three of them?
You know what I think they need to do, honestly, is I think that they need a Star Wars story, whether it goes directly to Disney Plus or whether they can put it in the movie theater. Although at the movie theater at this point in time, the box office is not kind to Star Wars unless you can get some excitement back. And I think that the only way to get excitement for this land is to have Batuu be in something people see in a Star Wars story that's actually good, that probably takes place around the time of the Mandalorian lore, or maybe even just before the Mandalorian, but it has to have Luke, Leia, Han. Even if those are all recast, you need to have something with the original characters. You need to have something that connects old audience to new audience, that makes grown-ups want to share this with their kids. I have a 23-year-old son that loves episodes 1 through 6 and will not even acknowledge that episodes 7 through 9 exist. And he enjoys Star Wars. We've gone to the park, but Batuu is not for him. And my 13-year-old son doesn't care about Star Wars at all. So it's just, you've got to make it. Look, the thing is, girls, there were always girls who would like Star Wars, because there's always girls that like some boy stuff and boys that like some girl stuff. That's okay. It's all out there. Well, what did I see? Somebody was saying like, I think it was Real Life Fake Wizard had a video where he's talking about how your boys would buy the Jurassic Park dinosaurs in the 1990s and then have them eat the sisters' Bratz toys or whatever.
The Barbie dolls.
Great stuff, yeah. Right? But like, that's how kids play. Let kids be kids. Let them have their imagination. Let them do that, and let the brands be what they're supposed to be. When I looked at the audience breakdown for who did go see Mandalorian Grogu, 67% male. Okay? It still skews that way. And theme park land needs to be a place that all people can enjoy, but nobody enjoys going to a place that's supposed to be from a movie or a property, and you get there and you're like, I don't remember seeing this in any movie. This feels like Dubai or Saudi Arabia or something like that. It doesn't feel like Star Wars. And when you go to Diagon Alley, you feel like you've just been dropped into the Harry Potter movies, and that's the problem with Galaxy's Edge. They need something. If you don't have it in the past, then you're going to need to create something with a Batu and a Black Spire outpost so that people can see it, and then they'll want to come there, and then they can relate to it. You have to have all of that connection. Otherwise, it just simply does not work.
And they got to fix Oga's too. Oga's is not at all what exactly. How hard is it to make it what it is in the movie with the music? That amazing song. Do 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 do. I mean, come on, that's not hard. It's not rocket science. Very simple.
We all know it too, man.
What did you all think about how popular I think it was poorly executed, but even with it being poorly executed, what did you all think about how popular having the original trilogy characters show up at Disneyland's Galaxy Edge was?
Huge.
It's huge. Great. You know,
I mean, these look like kid cosplayers out of a Spirit Halloween store, and yet still they were super duper popular. The place was at capacity. So
yeah,
we know what they got to do. Everybody knows what they got to do. They know what they got to do.
This is what I've been talking about. Galaxy's Edge has to be redone, and it has to be the theming of this land needs to be cohesive with the movie. And the same thing, the popularity is dying. Galaxy's Edge is not popular. I don't even think it ever was. But it has, how long has it been open? Not even a decade, or is it approaching a decade?
I remember when it very first opened, and this was 2019 during the time that it was supposed to be the height of popularity, because 2019, that was when Rise of Skywalker was coming out. It was supposed to be a huge thing. Galaxy's Edge opened. Nobody went. Nobody went even when it very first opened. So this isn't even a post 2020 problem. This is
and Diamaro's aware of it. Diamaro's aware of it because he made a statement, and I can't remember where I read it, but he made a statement. The guests like it, but they don't love it. So this whole area has to be redone. They have to not get rid of it. They have to retheme it. I don't know how to do something.
They have to connect the story. It's a disconnect when you like, it's so simple. You walk into Diagon Alley, you connect it to the story you've seen. You don't do that with Batu. It's just this looks like I don't know, something in like a mall decorated for Star Wars. When I go to MegaCon and I go to the Star Wars area of MegaCon, it feels more like Star Wars than this. What's so weird.
It is so strange. Really strange.
It's really scary to think about, because even in all the new stuff they're doing, like in Tropical Americas, and Erika's gonna probably kill me when I say this, but Encanto, I don't see that being popular for another decade. They're taking these huge risks.
We got to see if they do an Encanto too. We'll see about that. But point well taken. If you look at this, they have an entire store for porgs. Folks, they thought porgs were going to be big. They thought Last Jedi was going to be the biggest movie ever. Nobody wants a porg.
No.
Nobody likes the porgs. Why is there a whole store? People like Salacious B. Crumb. Jabba the Hutt sidekick better than like porgs. And that guy, he's annoying plenty. Erika, what do you think? What about to MJ's point, these decisions they make and betting so heavily on stuff? Maybe like Encanto. I don't know. I think Encanto's kind of a safe bet, but what do you say, Erika, about all this?
Ooh, with Star Wars, it sounds like they just need to re-storyline, like MJ and Ron were saying, make it more cohesive to the original stories that the vast majority of Star Wars fans gravitate to, like what they did with Harry Potter over at Universal. Encanto, I think, is a completely different situation. It's not a purchase IP. It's an animated feature that actually maybe didn't do so crazy well in theaters, but it still had a lot of popularity with the soundtrack and the characters. I think Encanto definitely resonates with kids. and families. My grandkids love Encanto. They still, gravitate to the songs and the characters. It's a boat ride. My understanding, it's going to be a boat attraction. So I think if they do the attraction well, it'll do well. And sometimes that's all you need is a good attraction. It really depends. Disney's kind of finicky. It's either the IP or I don't know. They used to.
I thought it was an omni mover, but I could be wrong about that. It could be a boat, but it's going to be a very high capacity, like super high capacity. They want to move tons of people through that ride.
Well, yeah, the music and the characters. At least the concept art looks really well. I mean, what we're going to get still remains to be seen. But if they've learned anything, hopefully they'll do it right. And I think it has potential. Now, obviously, we won't know until after it's built what the reality is going to be. But out of the two of them, I think Encanto has more potential. Star Wars technically still has it. They can retheme, they can tweak that land, and they can re-storyline. So it's not like it's stuck where it's at. They can fix it. It's just doing it. We don't know why they don't just get off their lazy butts and just do it.
Oh, because they don't want to, because they wanted the sequel trilogy to win, and because it's very embarrassing for them to have to take out Disney Star Wars and replace it with classic Star Wars. Because they all thought classic Star Wars was done, it was over, it was gone, and it was on to the new thing.
They could really revitalize it if they brought back those Star Wars weekends they used to have. Bring that into Galaxy's Edge.
1,000%.
I would agree with that. Look, Kathleen Kennedy is gone. That could be. There's a lot of the old guard that was in charge of getting Mandalorian Grogu the movie out there for this. There is, with the change of guard, I think that Walt Disney World is getting a new president at the end of July. There's hope. There's hope. There's fingers crossed, but we haven't seen a lot of signs yet. There's been a few that are kind of, like I will tell you, when I went on Rock and Roller Coaster, I'm like, okay, if there could be more stuff like this, then there may be some hope for the future. I still say, I will tell, the lightning lane thing bothers me at Walt Disney World, for all of it, but they definitely have enough. I consider them foolish people convinced to buy those things, which are ridiculous when you look at the wait times. You're like, look at the wait times now. Like, hello. Anyway, but yeah, people get convinced. But I think I also have a feeling there's a lot of travel agents and chats that are like, no, you got to buy lightning lanes. That's how we make our money. But yeah, it's golly, you look at this. If Mandalorian and Grogu were as popular as Han, Leia, and Luke, they would be surrounded in the park like Han, Leia, and Luke were when they came out at Disneyland. And that doesn't happen.
Swarmed like bees.
They're not swarming. And he's got a little animatronic and the little powder. Look how cute his little face is. It's Gizmo all over again.
Little hairless Furby.
I'm telling you, if there was a place where you could go, now imagine this. Imagine if there was like sort of a secretive place where you could go and you would be able to commune with the actual Yoda and get advice from him on the level of a Jedi. Like that would be, I mean, there's just
like an interactive experience. Holy cow.
and there's plenty of places to build something like that. And it's just cool. There's all kinds of things that the problem is, I think at Disney, every single time they're trying to think of something new, they're going, how do we lightning lane this? How do we monetize it? How do we merchandise it?
Oh, yeah.
They're always thinking money first. And if they would think with their creative vision first,
guest experience over that. Yeah. That's, you already paid your admission. Yeah. You already paid your admission. Let's give them their best bang for their buck and give them their best experience, make memories, take it home. But yeah, no, you're right, Ron.
The creativity is there and it's that good. The money will come. I mean,
People will spend money on the merch.
Yeah, they will. I mean, look at how people are dropping money at Universal on merch and food, and
oh, you like that $600 Kronos?
Well, no, I'm not paying that, but you know what I mean.
I'm just joking.
But nobody's spending on blue milk, green milk, pink milk, whatever it is that Star Wars is selling, and lightsabers, maybe not there either.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.